Entrepreneur Enthusiast podcast. The reason I started this podcast is quite simple. I really couldn't keep dealing with clients, and I wanted to get in a position where I can empower my clients through education and information. Pre-pandemic, I was going around speaking and teaching all over and about digital entrepreneurship and digital marketing. And I wanted to really help people understand what that could bring to their business. It started with, in 2013, I had my company. I was building websites for a while. This was before Wix and all the builders, making about 10,000 websites. And then that kind of changed, and Uber came out, and I was just driving my Uber car for a while, and I would drive about 40 hours a week, and I would get up early in the morning, and I would meet entrepreneurs and people getting off the airplane from different parts of the globe. And through that, it forced me to realize that business is all over the world and life is super transactional. Once I went and took that Uber car and I started going to different meetups and I started traveling, I said, you know what, I'm making it was crazy. I was making about $1,500 a week driving an Uber, 45, 50 hours a week. And I would get up between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. and drive. And then I would go work. And then after I would go to work and just do some website stuff, I would go back and drive between 2 and 6. And I would meet a lot of different interesting people. I say that because that really helped carve my craft. It really helped carve what I wanted to do, because I was able to meet different entrepreneurs, different CEOs, different marketers, different people working in different fields. And I was able to engage and interact with them and speak to them on a humanizing level, where they weren't looking to be clients of mine. They weren't looking to work with me, but my guard was down, where I was able to just simply talk to them and learn about what they were doing in their craft and how I got there. And for a long time, I spiraled and said, how can I maximize on this, and how can I take this to the next level? And as my company was failing, I started to realize it wasn't necessarily things that were, my company was failing more so because I didn't really have the knowledge to get to the next level, to scale. I didn't have the knowledge to create automations to help my business grow without me being there. I didn't have the knowledge to not be hands-on. So I would have 1, 2, or 3 clients, and that just simply wasn't enough, and I couldn't get more, and I couldn't support a lifestyle like that. And in the car, the Uber car, I call it in the Uber car, I would meet these entrepreneurs and say, I can be like them. Why? What is the difference between me and them? And in that, I started to travel overseas and take my Uber money and say, I'm going to drive 3 weeks, and in the 4th week, I'm going to fly. Because I didn't really have many bills, no kids at the time. So I would fly, and I would go to Japan, Europe. I would go different places. I knew I'd get a $500, $600 flight. I could stay at a hostel for a little bit and just kick it and chill. And I would really enjoy those moments. And with me staying at the hostels, I would also meet people, and I would go to meetups, and I was doing these trips solo. As I was going on these meetups, I realized that I did have knowledge to speak about. And I started speaking at meetups, speaking to Eventbrites. I started meeting with business owners. I started DMing business owners in other countries and just taking them to lunch. To me, that was worth the $30, $40 because I was learning so much more. And when I took that knowledge, I started being able to make my company go global. I remember this day we were at Super Bowl, and 2020 in Miami with Dave. Shout out to Dave. And we flew from Miami to Tokyo March 1st. And I signed my first international deal March 8th. Halilani Terrace. It was a Japanese Hawaiian fusion restaurant. And we get back to America and the country shuts down. That messed me up because I wasn't really able to process things, you know? I wasn't really able to figure out how do I change my business model. I wasn't really able to turn things around. I just had to stop because I was setting my business pace to go global. And through that, after that, I found myself dabbling in other entrepreneurial things and just really become an enthusiast of businesses. I've owned restaurants, I've owned e-commerce business, nightclubs, bars, like all kinds of businesses that I'm still interested in, but I'm more so interested in what people have to say and what other experts are doing in those fields. Because post-pandemic, we tend to shine light on companies are doing well, people are doing well based on what we see on social media, but we really don't have the true insights of individuals that are really out there putting in the work, being entrepreneurs. And no disrespect to my half-apreneurs. Those are the people I know that you working full time, but these true soul entrepreneurs that are just trying to get over that hump. What is that process? How do you get over that hump? How do you end up believing in yourself so you get over that hump? And how do you fight that every day? How do you look at yourself every day and say, that's what I want to get to, that's what I want to attain? And Entrepreneur Enthusiast is a podcast that is developed for those that are curious and interested about the life of an entrepreneur, how to maintain a life as an entrepreneur, how to be a family man and be an entrepreneur, how to work and be an entrepreneur, how to live and be an entrepreneur. Because the key word is you want to own your time. And this word entrepreneur, is when I grew up, seemed like a bad thing. And I grew up on a block. Let's just say I grew up on a block where people were good. They lived in nice houses. When I grew up on that block, I would be talking to individuals, and I remember sitting there. How you gonna tell me that being an entrepreneur is not a good thing or a confusing thing when everybody on my block is an entrepreneur and they got big houses? That mathematics didn't add up to me. So that's why I chose to be an entrepreneur. And my first job, I sold candy at school and I was making money. I remember going to Costco, get the candy from Costco and selling it wholesale. But I realized the margins weren't good enough. So I didn't really want to sell candy because I would have to sell more candy. And if I had leftover candy, I really wasn't making money unless my mom was buying the candy solely. But my first job as an entrepreneur was I would take out my neighbor's trash cans. I was 9 years old and I was taking out trash cans for $5 a house. All your trash cans, $5 a house. Bring them in too, and I get tips. That's $5 a week per house. I got 20 houses on the block. That's $100 a week. I'm 9 years old making $100 a week. So the concept of that, of me being an entrepreneur, made me realize that I can get out there and do it and not feel sorry for anybody. And we did that, and 10 years strong, Affluence Solution, the purpose of it was to provide marketing solutions for individuals and entrepreneurs that needed them just like me. And I'm still on that journey. And I hit a plateau, and it wasn't until I got in certain phase to learn how to get certain contracts, learn how to maneuver my business, that I was able to really take my business to the next level and succeed And that's why, my journey is to help entrepreneurs. That's why, we have things like the Entrepreneur Toolkit. That's why those are the type of things that we are looking to do. So we want to help people figure it out through entrepreneurship, figure it out through knowledge and learning, figuring it out by getting mentors, figuring out by writing things down, figuring out by learning how to not be too good, but really just figuring it out so that the enthusiast of an entrepreneur that's in you is able to thrive and you're able to succeed. And that's the ultimate goal here at the Entrepreneur Enthusiast. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are interested in subscribing to Entrepreneur Enthusiast, subscribe, hit us up. We are, living, loving, and I would say, yeah, we out.